Hello there. My name is John Ilano. I am joined by my fellow team members Antonia, Jonathan, and Jamila. Together, we have put this presentation about community gardens. Considering that all four of us are criminal justice majors currently studying at UNLV, we have decided to put this presentation together to show how our major can pertain to community gardens and how it can benefit towards community gardens. So, some facts about community gardens. Community gardens can help reduce negative environmental impacts by promoting cheap and sustainable culture. It can reduce food transportation costs and even reduce water runoff. Some examples include that it can help improve air quality and soil quality. It can reduce quote unquote food miles that are required to transport nutritious foods. It can reduce neighborhood waste through composting, and it can increase biodiversity of plants and animals. Now, throughout lots of communities, health problems arise, and sometimes obtaining healthier food options can be out of the budget. So adding these community gardens can not only improve nutrition, but it can increase the amount of fruits and vegetables these families consume. Examples include that it increases access to fresh food, improves food security, and reduces the risk of obesity and any diseases that are related to obesity, and that it can improve dietary habits through education. Now, I'd like to point out food security is definitely a big one, especially given the current situation that we're all living in right now with the COVID-19 pandemic. Even before the pandemic, food security has always been an issue worldwide. And once COVID began, the issue of food security became increasingly worse. So I believe that by creating such community gardens, we can help that problem out and help bring the problem lower and down. So now on this next slide, giving back to the community, here I have a video of a couple who created an urban garden to help out their community. Their neighborhood and the community basically struggled with securing food, and they had a lack of access to fresh foods. So together, they decided to turn this abandoned lot into a community garden, which is pretty amazing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the video here.
Find all the best gifts at JCPenney's Friends and Family.
After this ad, sorry.
Everyone's invited to get up to 50% off across the store and save even more with an extra 30% off coupon. Plus, get fast free curbside. This holiday, share more. Joy, comfort, peace. JCPenney.
The beautiful transformation in busy Newark, New Jersey, the state's largest city where 1 in 5 children are considered food insecure. Bilal and Brianna Walker turning a local abandoned lot into a garden that may soon feed close to 24 families. ABC's Adrienne Bankert with the story.
Hey everybody! Jenna on Grafton is the name of this lovely community garden.
Yes.
What does Jenna on Grafton mean?
Jannah is an Arabic word that means paradise. We're both Muslims, so this is kind of like an homage to our faith.
You want to bring a little paradise to Grafton.
Absolutely.
Which has a bit of a reputation.
We live in this community, right? And we really wanted to give back and contribute to our community. So as we passed down Grafton, we would always see this lot that was basically a dumping ground. But one thing that really stood out to us was the graffiti. We saw the brightness and we knew that it had life in it.
What did you do first?
The first thing that I really did was I started to research the Black experience with urban farming or just farming in general. African Americans once had 925,000 acres of land, and that land has now depleted by 80%. In order for this experience to be authentic, I wanted to learn about the experiences that Black people have in growing food.
There's not a lot of grocery stores with fresh produce here. We can't go to a Whole Foods and get the produce that we need to make our healthy meals, right? So we wanted to provide a space where we can nourish our own produce to give to our community. We're hoping to feed 20 families in the Grafton community. We just started growing in April and our garden is thriving already. So we're hoping by the end of the summer into the fall, we're able to harvest the plants and then give them to the community.
You guys have had a carpenter come down and build out benches,
Yes.
and then you've had somebody donate seedlings. How much support have you felt in terms of making this more than about just one family or one couple, but really the whole neighborhood coming together and helping you?
The support and love that we have received since we started has been overwhelming. Donations, people coming out to help clean the lot, volunteering. So it's just been an immense amount of support and love from the community.
I think the garden definitely represents Grafton Avenue. Before it was a dump, now you still see things able to grow. You know what I'm saying? It represents Grafton Avenue to the fullest, in my opinion.
It's really more than just having a garden. You hope to have a space where there's a consciousness about healthy eating.
Absolutely.
There's a consciousness about taking care of your neighborhood, right?
Yes. So it's not about us just giving, but we want to encourage and uplift our community to say that you can do this for yourself as well. So that's really important for us to educate.
Yummy. Okay, this is the most fun part of gardening. We're looking at spearmint, is that right?
Yes, this is spearmint.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite herbs. It's a perennial herb, which means it grows more than 2 years.
Don't you think a lot of children here in Newark would enjoy just experiencing this?
I know that they would enjoy it because so many young people come here all the time ready to jump in and get to work.
I think the kids are going to love this. It's so exciting.
I hope they do.
So let's make some lemonade or tea or something.
Okay, cool.
Okay. One of the things that I love is when you can actually harvest something from your garden and make something immediately.
Yes.
And mint is easy.
Yes, it's so easy. This is an infuser here. We're just gonna pluck the leaves off the mint. You can just put them in here whole. And it's just gonna infuse down in here. And you can see it coming out. This will steep in here for about 4 minutes. And after 4 minutes, you can have your tea.
It smells so good.
We're not spilling the tea, we're serving the tea, right? You gotta bless the garden, so.
Yo,
absolutely.
Praises be to the Most High for this. It's just a beautiful experience. We're extremely grateful for all the love.
Cheers. From 6 feet apart. Yeah.
Wow, that is a beautiful story. We want to thank Adrian for that incredible report. We hope it's contagious.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking.
So yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Transformation in busy Newark, New Jersey.
So yeah, the benefits of the community garden, moving on to the next slide. And quoting from Ober Allen, data collection included participant observation and in-depth interviews with adult gardeners and neighbors, youth, and community police officers. Now the next three quotes from the Gardening Matters. While vacant lots can be magnets for litter and criminal activity, community gardens are observed and managed by gardeners, resulting in a cleaner space and more active local communities. Community gardens are great places to host social and cultural events, helping to strengthen local communities. And exposure to green space reduces stress and increases a sense of wellness and belonging within the community. Now, basically talks about what we just saw in that last video. You know, community gardens can have such great benefits, not just towards ones who start the garden, but the community around them. I mean, look at what they did. They turned a whole abandoned lot into a community garden to benefit a lot of people. And like the guy said, that place was a dump, you know, it was an abandoned lot, but they still took advantage of it. And that video was very recent, considering that, because, you know, like the lady said at the end, 6 feet apart. So obviously this was going on during the time that we're dealing with COVID. So it is an amazing thing to have community gardens within our society, not just to benefit us, but to benefit the people around us. And yeah, so in the next slides, I will hand off the presentation to Jonathan, and he will take it from there. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today we're going to talk about in these next two slides, MA contribution to community gardens. Sorry about if, you know, technology is not so good or you can't see the bulletins that well. Me and technology really don't get along that well. But so we're going to start off with this side that we found 3 bulletins. Prison gardens help inmates grow their own food and skills. So one bulletin that we found from there that was interesting is that in the past 3 years, Planning Justice has hired 10 former inmates to work on landscaping jobs. According to the group's website, they get an entry-level wage of $17.50 per hour. Me personally, I work landscaping, I work construction, retail, and me personally, I mean, I've gotten paid $13, $14 doing, you know, construction or landscaping. So for them, you know, coming into the society where, I mean, we don't know how long they've been in there, so them coming into society, it can be totally different. So for them to make $17.50, that is something great because they're starting a new life for them, a new slate. And it's something great because, I mean, you put in 40 weeks and 40 hours a week, and it's something that, you know, you're going to get a pretty good paycheck. Not so great, but something that you can survive on and can maintain yourself in the meantime as you grow in the company, as you get paid more, whatsoever. So that's something that helps their skills, and it just helps them, you know, just be more focused on what they really want, so them not to think about going back into prison or, you know, therefore into other things that we don't want their mind to be on. Another bulletin that I found interesting it says, and in one prison garden in Missouri was reportedly so bountiful it had extra produce, 163 tons worth. That's something that it teaches them, you know, that all their hard work that they're doing and everything, that it's helping other people, because all those extra produce that they have, it helps them donate to charities, schools, people in need. And that's something that, you know, they can take pride in, like, oh, all that hard work that we've done, so people, you know, that we can donate it, and it can be something great for them. On this side, these 3 bulletins is green is the new orange, the transformative power of community gardening programs in jails and prison. Something that is interesting from this is that in 2012, that the work can be transformative. The IGP reports that less than 10% of IGP participants who rent to the community have returned to jail or prison, saving the states $40 million. So that's something huge, because these gardens means they're doing something right. If only 10%, return to prison, that's very good and that's very great. So for the prisoners that enter into programs like this, into community gardens, you know, their chances of being successful and not returning to prison is very high. As you can, like as it says, that only 10% return. That's something great, and that's something that, you know, I found really interesting. As we're going to go on to the next slide. So inmate contribution, you know, continued whatsoever. One thing that I found interesting about this, the 3 bulletins that we have here, is the result and information gathered support the notion that horticulture activities can play an important role in influencing an offender's successful reentry into society. So I was going back into it that, you know, we don't know how long they've been in prison or whatsoever, but them coming out, everything's new to them. Stuff has changed, everything. So for them, you know, to have this support and just them working and them seeing, you know, working so close to the garden and it just being a peaceful environment whatsoever can help them a lot. And them, you know, coming into society, not being so stressed out, not like in their mind saying like, what do we do next whatsoever. That's something great, because they have this support that it helps them a lot. It helps them just return back into society, and then for not to do like anything bad or whatsoever, you know, for them to be successful in life, and it just sets them up for success, and for them to, you know, donate their time and, you know, make money off of it in the meantime as well. This last slide that we have, just the references that we have, and, you know, just want to say thank you for your time, and just thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and find it, you know, informative.